Hey, what's up, everybody? It is Chris, and today I wanted to talk about the lower premium silver. Some of the stuff that I had. This stuff actually is pretty cool because most of it is from when I started stacking. Uh, Luckily, prices have gone up quite a bit, so I've liquidated some of my silver to change into platinum and gold. You'll be seeing that pretty soon, but. What I wanted to talk about is you don't have to necessarily go for the really nice pieces in silver, although it is nice to have good looking stuff. Even like things like these, which were the JM Bullion 10 ounces at spot that you can or you could get a while back from them. They're good looking stuff. I mean, they're a nice looking round. They're just simple silver round, and yes, I know I'm handling it with my hands, but I'll try to be careful. It's not that big a deal. It's an ounce of silver, and it's generic. But even things like this, they look nice. They look nice when you have them. They have a nice weight to them when you add them to your stack, especially 10 ounces at a time or whatever. Some people prefer bars, 10-ounce bars. Some people prefer rounds because you can break it up and sell it. But even things like this, again, they do make a difference in your stack. Some of the things that I've picked up in the last few months, actually, before I get into that, this was actually something that I picked up early on. Let's see if I can get that to focus. This is a Australian coin. And this one, actually, like I'm a kind of a big history nerd. But I like the fact that it was a victory in the Pacific round or coin. So I picked these up when I first got into stacking. I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. I didn't realize like how common those kind of things are, so I wasn't sure. I just wanted to pick it up before it went away. But those kind of things remind me like of why I got into it, like where I started. Obviously now I'm much more into it. I pay much more attention to what I buy, things like that. But it wasn't always like that. In the beginning, it's just kind of fun. Again, you get your first couple rounds, your bars, whatever, and you're like, oh, this is really cool. And you want to look at them, mess around with them, that kind of thing. And then you evolve, of course, into whatever your longer term plan is. But even things like this is actually from this year. This is a Morgan round, so a Morgan looking round, pretty nice. I believe I got this from JM Bullion. But even things like that can make your stock. You're adding weight. The price is right, and it makes a difference. This is from this year, definitely. I thought this was pretty cool. This is a poured little bar. I'm sure you saw it if you watched one of my unboxing videos. But this is a pretty from Monarch Metals, Monarch Precious Metals. It's a nice looking poured bar. I was like, oh, I want to see what that looks like in a smaller denomination or smaller size. Wanted to pick that up. This one is the 9 Fine Mint. So this is an APMEX product. Again, I always try to get myself into APMEX. It is where I ordered the first, bars of silver that I ever bought. They were like 1 ounce bars. Those came from APMEX. So I try to stay somewhat loyal, although most of my stuff comes from JM Bullion now. Again, with APMEX, the good thing is that they usually do have platinum in stock, whereas with JM Bullion, it's pretty darn hard to find. So I like this. It's pretty thick, pretty nice little chunky bar. And I always wanted to see what the 9 Fine Mint products look like, because they they make a lot of the bars on APMEX. So I wanted to see what they look like, and it looks pretty nice. I mean, again, I wouldn't hesitate to purchase something from 9 Fine Mint again in the future. Not at all. Whether it's like a 10-ounce bar or anything like that, it wouldn't really trouble me in any way. This one is like I believe this one's from the Niue Mint, or from Niue. Pretty cool little round, or coin. Sorry, coin. These were actually something that I really wanted when I first saw them. I liked the chunkier coins. I don't know why, like the 2 ounces, things like that. And the goose, when I first saw it, I forgot. I believe I saw it on someone's unboxing video, but I was like, oh, I gotta have that. They look nice. They've got a nice shine to them. They've got a nice weight. It's a good looking. I like that frosted look. Like when you look at them and it has that kind of frosted mirror look. I really like that on my coins and rounds. So I really wanted that, but then they were sold out for months. I couldn't get it. I had to wait. I think I ended up getting these in July. So I bought a few of them. I'm actually probably gonna buy a few more if I can get my hands on them to fill a small tube, maybe like 20 of these, because they're a pretty good looking coin. I have the other bears that I picked up at the coin shop for a pretty good price. But again, the point of this video is that no matter what you're stacking, even if it's like the cheaper stuff like this, as you build your stack, you're going to be reminded of where you started. You're not going to know all of the little nuances or, should I have paid this much for this round or coin, whatever. You're just going to buy whatever's in your price range and, that you have some affinity for, that you like. But as time goes on, you're going to learn different things. Obviously, everyone knows the Eagles. Everyone's going to tell you, oh, Eagles are great. Buy Eagles if you can get them at a good price. That's going to be a no-brainer if you watch people's videos. But even things like this is the Philharmonic, which is, this one's the gilded one of my gilded ones. I bought this one because it was a little different. But the Philharmonics, enjoy the same tax privileges as the American Eagles. So again, I'm not giving you tax advice. I'm not giving you an investment advice, anything like that. I'm just generally speaking, do your own research. But little things like that are important things for later that you can learn very easily by watching videos, by reading about stacking, by reading about precious metals and all the different rules. But they're not that big a deal when you first start out. Again, you're just trying to add some weight to your stack, have something to put in a safe or, hide or whatever it is that you do with your stack. And these kind of things give you, again, that pathway to adding weight. So as your stack gets bigger, that's the time when you can spend a little bit more money to get, maybe something like this that's a little more expensive, or the Queen's Beast series or things like that. That way you already have a nice base of precious metals. Obviously, they can serve multiple purposes. They can be just for speculation on price. Maybe you just want silver to skyrocket so you can get rid of everything. Well, if that's the case, maybe things like this make sense, because if you're just expecting to get spot price back for what you have, then these are great. You want to get them as cheap as possible and sell them for spot at some point when the price skyrockets. If that's not the case, if you sell on eBay to other people or you plan on doing that, maybe things like this would be more your style because people might pay for something nicer. Again, that's a point that I make pretty often in my videos, that my personal belief is, even in an SHTF scenario, basically everything hitting the fan, even in that scenario, there are going to be the haves and the have-nots. There will be a lot of have-nots, but even in that scenario, there are going to be people who, for whatever reason, are probably going to want to have nicer stuff than others. And so my personal belief is there will be a market for certain things that, if someone has a set amount of money that they're going to spend, maybe they want something more like this than like this. It's all personal preference. But even barring that scenario, there are so many different options on where you can go with your stack. I mean, the sky's the limit. And you always have to recognize that you have so much flexibility with your stack. Even things like that people don't necessarily want to talk about. Let's say selling your silver. You're going to sell to a coin shop and let's say they're going to give you spot or, barely above spot, whatever the case is. That's an option. You did spend money on this, and, if you need that, you can get it back by liquidating if you need to. Also, you can pawn your silver. I'm not recommending you do that because you're going to pay a crazy amount of interest the longer that they hold it, but it's an option. You don't have to get rid of your stack if you don't want to. There are ways that you can preserve your assets because this is a physical asset. There are ways that you can preserve that without getting rid of it, even when times get tough. You know what I mean? A pawn shop doesn't sound like the greatest idea in the world. It's not. But again, just knowing that you have that option gives you a little bit more flexibility, a little bit more power to believe in what you're doing. And so those are the things that you're going to want to remember as you stack. You're not stuck with this. You're not throwing money at something that's, not going to provide you value or flexibility in the future. Precious metals does give you a lot of flexibility, even if it's silver. People want silver. Some people think, oh, they only want gold. Gold's great. Gold's great, but not everybody can afford gold. And gold is not always necessarily the most liquid thing in the world, as far as if you only needed a little bit of money, and let's say gold goes up to 5,000 an ounce, and you have to liquidate a tenth of an ounce to get $500, maybe that's not what you're trying to do. Maybe you only needed $100. Who knows? It depends on your personal situation. So do things according to what you really believe in. Don't feel pressured. Even right now when price, skyrocketed, everybody was trying to get into it. Don't feel pressured to jump into it. Take your time, do what's right for you. And like I said, remember to enjoy the things that you have, even if they're not the most glamorous thing. This little bar right here is not glamorous. It's a generic 9 fine mint bar. But when I look at it, it's pretty nice. It does bring a smile to my face. So things like that, providing you joy while you're doing something productive for yourself, is what stacking is all about. All right, got some unboxing videos coming up hopefully this week, and I will see you guys then. Take care.